What is this? Cortana, answer me.
You allow them an audience. You restore them in the name of us, Cortana.
Warden, don't.
They mean to undo your plans. They will disperse your guardians.
Leave, Warden.
Hey, what's up guys and gals? It's the Tyrant here, and it is Friday! Celebrate! And welcome back to my Halo 5 Guardians Skull's Location Guide. We are almost to the finish line. We are on mission 14 today, entitled The Breaking. And our skull that we're targeting is the Famine Skull. So for those of you who don't know what the Famine Skull does, essentially when it's activated, every time you pick up a weapon, or I should say pick up a weapon that's been dropped by an enemy, it will have half of the normal ammo. So this mission actually made my top 25 hardest Halo missions of all time. It is just Prometheans here. They spawn in all over the place. You've got the full spectrum of the Promethean force bearing down on you in this mission. My personal weapon of choice is the bolt shot. It seems to be the most effective one. Usually drops enemies fairly quickly, especially crawlers. And you will be fighting a lot of crawlers in this mission. So we're going to go ahead and deal with these guys real quick. Now, fortunately, unlike the previous two missions, the skull is actually located about halfway through. So there's 3 different areas in this particular mission, if you're not counting the Warden fight at the end. And essentially each area has multiple platforms. The skull is on the second platform. It's fairly easy to find, not too big of a deal. And so we're going to go ahead and plow through this. So I know some of you are asking, okay, seriously, Tyrant, the game's been out for 2 years. Why are you doing this now? What purpose does it serve? And there are other skull guides out there. No, they're not like mine. Because unlike those, I'm going to show you where the location of the skull is from the start of the mission. Any skull guide that I've seen so far usually starts out right before the skull is reached. And so if you don't know your landmarks real well, then you're not going to be able to find it. So I'm going to show you how to get there from the start of the mission so there is no confusion at all. Now you can get the skull on any difficulty. That includes easy. I'm actually playing this on normal today. Wanted a little bit of a challenge, but also wanted to get through it kind of quick. So we're going to run through this as quickly as we can. This is one of those missions where you really can't go but so far. It's a difficult one to speed run since, in all seriousness, you have to kill most of the enemies here before you can move on, at least in some locations. Others you can skip in terms of platforms, but then the Prometheans are usually going to be chasing you, and definitely your allies, who will probably be sticking around to continue to fight them. So I love the bolt shot. My second weapon of choice here, personally, is typically the light rifle. That's always a good one. Whoa! That guy was a little bit pissed off. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pick up some more ammo here. Now, I've already said this in my Legendary walkthrough, but one thing that I do recommend here, if you want to fight out the Warden Eternal battle rather than skip it at the end, there are several incineration cannons that you can pick up. 2 of them are from these knights. So my recommendation is, as soon as you down one of them, get one of your allies to pick up that incineration cannon. So by the time you reach the end of the mission, hopefully all your allies, including yourself, will be armed with an incineration cannon. This will help you out immensely against the Wardens if you choose not to skip them. I've showed you this in one of my videos. People were a little bit pissed off that for my Legendary walkthrough I skipped the Warden fight, but of course I was trying to go for the easiest route possible for people trying to beat the mission. So I went ahead and released a follow-up video the next day that shows you how to beat the Warden in roughly, or all 3 Wardens in roughly a minute. On Legendary, mind you. So, in case you want to fight the Wardens out, go ahead and just pick it up. Now, like I said, this particular skull is only halfway through the mission, so we're not going to have to go all the way through, fortunately. And actually, the same works with the next mission as well. So, all right. Good stuff here. So, we're done with the first area. We're going to go ahead and go to the second. Lots of exposition happens here. It's sort of reminiscent of the Gravemind and Cortana banter that you see in Halo 3 on the mission Cortana. Not sure that's a good thing. But especially since you see the Warden and Cortana sort of bantering back and forth throughout the mission. It's really weird, too. I'm not really sure what the deal is with those two. People have tried to explain it to me, and, you know, like Cortana sort of snuck into the domain under the or under the warden's watch. He didn't notice, and by the time she was in there, you know, she was starting to gain on this power and stuff. I don't really know what's going on for sure. It doesn't tell you in the game, but, or at least it doesn't tell you very well if it does. Maybe it's through some sort of exposition that I missed somewhere. There's a lot of it in this game, so if you blink, you miss it. So the skull is actually going to be in this second area right here. We will have to do a little bit of fighting before we get to the area itself. It's not too difficult. It's mostly crawlers. You have a couple of soldiers you have to deal with and a couple of focus turrets as well. But since your allies all have incineration cannons, you can drop those turrets pretty quickly. Now, of course, one other tip for the focus turrets is if you shoot at them when they're open, directly into their eye, or whatever you want to call it, the core, if you will, they go down a lot faster. They're a lot less. They're a lot more vulnerable if you do that. Less resilient. Okay, so again, mostly just crawlers here. Not a big deal. This is a great place to use. And I accidentally dropped my bolt shot. I always the name always slips me for the bolt shot. I'm not really sure why. Like I said, I guess just kind of a weird name for an alien weapon, but you know, it is what it is. Still very useful. I find it a little bit more powerful than the suppressor. Yes, the suppressor has a continuous stream to it. That's what she said. But essentially, it just isn't as powerful. Like if I unload an entire clip on a soldier, I can usually take his armor down, but I'll still have to follow up with something else. With a bolt shot, you can actually down them in one clip. So it's pretty handy. So we're going to go ahead and down these guys real quick. So essentially, this part has two little levels right here. You can technically skip this area right here if you want to, but you're going to be overwhelmed if you try, because you do have to take out... I forget if you have to kill all the Prometheans or if it's just the focus turrets or what the deal is exactly. So my best advice here is just to go ahead and destroy the Prometheans, all of them. And also, if you want, there is... so we got more incineration cannons there for your allies. I wouldn't pick up one yourself until the very end of the mission. When you're in that last area with the additional Promethean Knights. Okay, so wait, this is 3 platforms, I guess. But yeah, that's what I would personally recommend there. That way you don't waste any. Remember, when they're in the hands of your allies, they have infinite ammo. So they can be quite useful. Usually when your allies use them, from what I've noticed, they use the splinter rounds rather than the full-on incineration cannon. But that actually works out to your advantage because they have a lot of splash damage to them. And when 3 of your allies are shooting splinter rounds at once, that basically comes out 6 at a time. Because remember, the incineration cannon actually, every time you shoot just a regular shot, it actually shoots 2 splinter rounds. Clear. So let's see, we got to deal with these guys real quick. And if I'm not mistaken, the shotgun, the special Promethean shotgun's down here too. I forget what it's called exactly. But if you want it, you can take it. Give yourself a little extra edge. It's pretty cool. There's only a few that I actually remember off the top of my head, like the River of Light and the Twin Jewels of Mithrilian. But it's a slightly more powerful one. Basically, the way this shotgun works, if you haven't seen my other video yet, or the scatter shot, I should say, is the projectiles will keep bouncing around until they hit a target, whereas the normal scatter shot, after maybe like 1 or 2 surfaces, it's gone. That's it. But with this one, it'll keep going for a while, so it's fairly effective. By itself, it's not really more powerful, but you have a much better chance at actually hitting your targets with it, so I'd recommend it. So we're going to go ahead and down these guys real quick.
Clear that turret.
There we go. Honestly, I could just get the my other Spartans to do it. So the skull is actually going to be in this next area right over here. Pretty easy to find. It's just right around the back of this lower platform right here. So mind the soldiers. And there it is, right there, the Famine skull. So we'll pick that up as soon as we down that guy. We're in good shape there. And there you have it. So the Famine skull, what is the weapon that you wish this skull did not affect? You can let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter at MythicTyrant. A link to my Twitter feed can be found in the description below. And if you want to become a premium member of the site for as little as $1 a month, be able to participate in exclusive contests and get some rewards out of it, All you got to do is check out my Patreon page. Highly encourage it. Very useful. You also get access to our exclusive community Discord. And also, if you don't want to do a monthly thing, we have a new store set up. We have dozens of items that you can choose from. You've got cell phone covers, you've got iPad covers, you've got wireless keyboards, t-shirts, USB drives, you name it. Definitely check that out. I'll post a link right up here. And if you like this video and you want to see more, and you want to stay up to date on all your Halo news, tips, tricks, and secrets, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more great content every single day right here on MythicTyrant.com. And also click that notification button so you get to see that video as soon as it goes up. Thanks so much for watching, guys and gals. I will catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.